That day, when she was on third base in the ninth inning of a tie game, Marcinia decided to take the biggest chance in all of baseball. When the pitcher drew back, his arm tagged her out. Marcinia doubled back towards third. When the catcher threw the ball back to the third baseman, Marcinia turned and bolted toward home plate. The ball settled above her head. Marcinia put her arms and used her. With the ball speeding toward home, Marcinia dropped her weight and slid into home plate. She was stolen home and scored the winning run. While her teammates celebrated their victory, Marcinia planted her hands on her hips and faced Mr. Street.
I'm a baseball player, she said. I want to learn to play this game as well as I can. May I come to your camp?
Well, miss, if you can steal home, you can probably do anything you set your mind to, Mr. Street said. You can come to my camp, as long as you have your own equipment.
When Marcinia told her parents the good news about the camp that evening, her father was not pleased.
I don't like you acting like such a tomboy, he said with a snap of his evening paper. Besides, you know we don't have money to spend.
The camp's free, Marcinia said excitedly.
Equipment isn't free, Papa said.
I have a glove, Marcinia said. Harold gave me his old one.
You'll need cleats, and we don't have money for those, Papa added. So unless you're prepared to get them yourself, I think you'll have to forget about that camp. Another snap of Papa's newspaper, Marcinia felt the dream without reach.
Mr. Street was at the field the next time Marcinia played. Before the game, she mustered all her strength to keep from crying. Mr. Street, she said, I can't come to your camp. I don't have cleats, and my father says we can't afford them. But thank you for inviting me. Although she was sad, Marcinia played as well as she always had. She loved baseball too much not to play with all her heart.
Unable to sleep, Marcinia gazed through the window at the full moon glowing in the sky. It was so round and bright, like a brand new baseball. She reached to the floor and took up her baseball glove. She put it on and punched the pocket, as if the moon would drop into it like so many fly balls had before. Marcinia wondered sadly if Papa was right. Maybe girls didn't grow up to be ball players after all. But playing baseball was a dream. Marcinia couldn't imagine doing anything else.
The next day
I
after school,
could.
Marcinia was the first one at the playing field. Mr. Street was already there, and he waved Marcinia over. You're a good ball player, Marcinia, he said. I want good ball players for my camp. He handed Marcinia a book, and he watched as she opened it. Her eyes widened as she pulled out a shoe with each hand. These weren't just any shoes, these were real baseball shoes. Thank you, Mr. Street. Marcinia was so excited she could barely squeeze out the words. She hugged the shoe to her chest. They were even better than stealing home.
Don't you have a game to play? Mr. Street said, nodding towards the field.
Yes, I do, Marcinia replied happily. Her fingers flew as she unbuckled her street shoes and laced on her new cleats. They fit perfectly. She ran in them, she jumped in them, she caught and slid in them, and she hit a home run in them.
After the game, the boys rushed to Mr. Street, talking over.
Don't like that noise.
Marcinia lingered at home plate. She stared at her feet, proud of the new scuffs and smudges on her shoes. They had been a little stiff at first, but now that she had played a good game of baseball in them, the cleats were exactly the way she wanted them to be.
Mr. Street excused himself from the crowd of boys. I look forward to seeing you in my camp, he said to Marcinia. She gave him a hopeful smile, but Marcinia knew she still had one more person to convince. Before she could officially accept Mr. Street's invitation, she ran home and waited anxiously for her father to return from work. As soon as her father arrived, Marcinia showed him her new cleats.
Now, Marcinia, where did you get
What's so funny?
Where did you get those shoes, Papa asked her.
Mr. Street gave me, Marcinia said. He wants me to come to his baseball game.
Papa looked down at Marcinia's baseball cleats, which were already scuffed and dusted with field dirt. You must be a pretty good ball player,
see how good I am, she cried. Marcelia felt as proud and happy as if she reached right up in the sky and caught the moon in her glove. She was on her way to becoming a real baseball player. She would make her dream come true.
It's a great story. And what's great about this story is it's also true. This little girl is real and grew up to be a professional baseball player. Dreams are important. And sometimes you can find dreams in books. That's what makes this little story so special. It's important to dream. You can be a lot of things in your life. Not just a baseball player, but you could also be the person who wrote this book. You can be a doctor, you can be a lot of things. That's what I love about books. They take us to a place. It can be a car, we can get in a room. And books can take you around the world and you never leave your house. When I think of a lot of the great things that have come to me in my life, a lot of them have come from books, just like this. I think if you start reading as young as you guys are, you're going to have a really great life.
Wow. Okay, so Ryan. Interesting. Her name was the childhood of Marcelia Larrega, or Tony Stone. She was an African-American girl who grew up to become the first woman to play for an all-male professional baseball team.
But then it wouldn't be all male.
Let me see if I can find out.
No es la door.
She began her career at the age of 16 as
Welcome
a
back.
pitcher for the Twin City Giants.
Go ahead and get your hands up so that I know you're here. Raise on your hand, Declan.
Yeah, Declan. Okay, go to your BBCU. Alright. Evan, you can log into BBCU. Well, open it back up. Everything okay there, Ian?
It's math course today.
Alright. So today is going to be a funky day in our main content today. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Google Classroom before we get started. Everybody's going to need to be on their computer. I need... Thank you. Clara, do you have a question, sweetie? I saw your hand pop up a couple times. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing a question. Go ahead, you can ask.
Settings aren't on.
Yeah, she'll figure it out. Go ahead and log in.